Hello, this is vlog 8 of my game design series. Today will be the last game reflection of the semester. Today I've chosen the Darkest Dungeon, which has been developed by Red Hood Studios and Stickhead Games. It has an ESRB rating of teen, and I'm currently playing it on the Switch Lite. The Darkest Dungeon is a turn-based RPG where the longer you're in the dungeon itself, the more harder it is. So you have to manage your resources in order to get through. This game has a very interesting mechanics, I should say, because it's all about balancing different things. Like, for example, you have a party of 4 that you go into the dungeon with. That party needs to be a balanced team dynamic. Everyone in that party needs food. When you're in the dungeon itself, you'll have like things you can interact with, like chests, maybe obstacles, and also of course enemies. Those things can have different results, like for example, a trapped chest or a cursed item, and then of course the light at the top. So as the light gets dimmer and dimmer and eventually goes out, the harder the game will be. So you want to constantly have torches on you. You want to constantly be looking at the top and then refilling your torch as needed. So it's to toggle that plus your enemy's health, plus your own character's health and stats and food, and whatever else is in the dungeon around you. So the biggest thing I feel is like you have overlapping mechanics that make the game more harder, and you have more things to deal with, especially as it gets harder and harder as you delve deeper and deeper. For the atmosphere and tone of the world, there are 3 words: dark, cool, and unsettling. The art style is very gritty, with a combination of very blocky shading and very kind of crude drawings. It makes the world feel like rough and gritty. Same with the colors. The colors are very muted. The only 2 things in this world that are bright is the shimmer of white light that comes from like holy characters using like blessings and powers, and the bright red color of blood. Other than that, everything is very like subtle, dim, dark, and muted, which kind of adds to the whole feel of it being a world that you don't really live in, you survive in, you know? And so that definitely helps with the tone of the game. And then the last thing is audiences that may be alienated. This game is not really a casual experience. The first thing it tells you when you log in is that it will not be casual. It says like characters will die, food will run low, it will get harder and harder as things go on, and you will not be having an easy time. I know personally, I picked the easiest difficulty, and I would on my first quest with 4 characters, 2 of those characters died, and that's on the easiest setting. Also, I feel as though the directions can be a bit misleading. Like I know personally, the game told me that hey, you should get 8 torches and 6 food. And the shopkeep had only 6 food. I bought all the food. But then when I left the menu, it said, hey, we recommend you get 8 food for your adventure. Do you want to leave now? And so because it kind of misled you in the beginning saying, hey, you only need 6 food, I was kind of stuck there. I didn't know if I did something wrong, or if something weird happened, or what. So I was kind of stuck there for a couple minutes. So I feel as though like that plus the hard difficulty plus like the interesting menu choices, it feels like you've been like thrown to the wolves almost. In all sense of the word. Or like you know the basics, but you don't know everything. You had to go out and find it yourself, for better or for worse. So I definitely think this is one of those games that are for like a more hardcore crowd, because it can definitely get stressful. It can definitely get like like very, very neck to neck. I know personally, I was definitely stressed once it got to the end of it. And if you're not up to that, it might not be the game for you. Other than that, I think it's a fairly well polished game, and I was really happy to play it. So thank you for your time, and you all have a good night.